AKAPADers, welcome back to another animation weekend episode of AKAPAD, the Film Buffs podcast. Every single weekend, I try and bring you two animated somethings. Either it's a movie, an episode, or in this case, an animated sequence from the new Joker movie, Joker 2, the movie that everybody hates, the movie that was setting up Lady Gaga for an Oscar nomination. Will she get the Oscar nomination? I don't know. I think she's deserving of it. I am very much an outlier on this movie, but today we're talking about what might be the most significant animation sequence of the modern day. It's Joker, Me, and My Shadow. Let's go.
Quiet on the set.
Camera speed,
Sound production, take one.
action!
So spoiler alert, AKAPADers. If you subscribe to HBO Max and you select that new Joker movie, the one everyone hates, I gotta keep saying it, and you put that sucker on, you press play, you're gonna hit an animated sequence done in the Looney Tunes style. It's got a title card that looks like Looney Tunes, it's got an intro that looks like and sounds like Looney Tunes, it's got even animation that echoes some Chuck Jones is in that animation. And then the flip side is, for some reason, this animation went over everyone's head. No one really cared about it. No one discussed it. And when I first saw it, my head literally spun. I watched it now more times than I have seen the Joker 2. The Madness of 2, but I like Joker, the Madness of 2. I don't know why it's in French. I like the American subtitle so much better. I've seen this movie a lot. I've seen the animation a lot more. Because the animation is every single clue we need to figure out this movie. If you were expecting a different movie, you would already know what was coming just from watching this. This animation part educates the audience into what to expect, what is coming. We already knew, a lot of people already knew, that this Joker movie was going to be part musical. If that news for any of the insiders and the people that follow the news, if that wasn't enough, I don't know what is. This animation sequence tells us what's happening. The shadow in this animation sequence, me and my shadow, the shadow of this sequence is Joker. Me is Arthur Fleck. This whole sequence, this whole little mini episode tells the story of how Arthur Fleck is battling the Joker. Do I embrace the Joker? Do I not embrace the Joker? How much of the Joker do I have control of? And then we get into the movie and we see it. So there should be no surprise. The animation is great. Could be a little bit better. Could be a little bit cleaner. I think I even see this with the new DC animations. It just looks slow and choppy at times, but it's fluid in some areas, but it does kind of slow down. Is it better than the generation before, what we got with kind of like mid-level cell animation? It definitely is. But a lot of people like that cell animated look. We kind of still have to look earlier or in mid, when we started these animation weekends, like mid 2024, a couple months ago. I highlighted Titan AE, Atlantis, the Lost Empire, right in the early 2000s. That's when the technology really started to shift. We were able to get a cell animated look, but it was really finished inside the computer screen, inside those magical devices. Could it be better animation wise? Yes. But I think the colors, I think the tone, I think everything that they recreated, I think the idea of what it is, it's there. I think Todd Phillips, there's a level of balls for him to even present this and put this in front of the movie. I feel they could have released this with other films to prep people. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they should have put it up on HBO Max, made it available for everyone. But I can see them not doing that in theaters just based on what to expect traffic-wise. I get it. I think combined, there's been $9 billion made in this year's box office. I'm sure that's some impressive metric, but we know that less people are going to the theaters, and theaters are just maximizing visits, basically. Higher ticket prices, $50 popcorn buckets, selling alcohol, all that stuff, right? One of the movie theaters around me here in Philly, they literally sell $30 pizzas you can get dropped off to you while you're watching the movie. It's insane. Who wants that? But yeah, I have to bring this to your attention. We have to put this sequence on the pedestal, and it kind of makes me now consider animation sequences within movies. I've been on the Harry Potter kick, and in Deathly Hallows we have, basically what the origin and the story of the Deathly Hallows and the artifacts that come from that, the powerful wand and these other things. But man, like, that's another very impressive animation sequence just dropped in the middle of a live action. So I think we will be doing some of that. Part of this episode was to bring the awareness to you that if you want to prepare yourself for this movie, I recommend watching this cartoon that starts the movie a couple times and think about it as you're watching it, AKAPADers, because it's not a Joker movie. This is an Arthur Fleck film as dictated from the early frames of this animation. I think it's incredible. I think this is fantastic. Bravo to everyone that worked on it. Bravo to Todd Phillips for greenlighting it. I just think this has grit. What can I say? I think this was a ballsy move. AKAPADers, check it out.
Okay, that's a wrap.